Here is another example of using the reverse tabular method to divide polynomials. We will be dividing this dividend by this divisor right here. As you can see that in this example, it's a little bit longer than what we had before, and the denominator, the divisor, has a missing term. So, but the first thing to do is to find the degree of the quotient. The degree of the quotient. Remember, we don't have the quotient yet, but we're going to determine what its degree will be. To do that, we will divide the first term by the first term. So when we divide x to the fifth by x to the second, basically we'll be subtracting the exponent. 5 minus 2 is 3. This is how we know that the degree is 3. And then now we know that the number of terms is always one more than the degree. So the number of terms of the incoming quotient is actually 4. So we know the table that we're going to set up, we have 4 columns. Now, we know that also that the number of rows will be how many terms that we expect, and we know this divisor we have. Since the degree of the divisor is 2, now we know that it should have 3 terms. So basically the table should be a 4 by 3. A 4 by 3. Now we know now we have a 4 by 3. This is the divisor with the missing term represented by 0x. So we have these 3 terms, and we already know that this 4 terms is going to be put up here. 4 terms going to be placed up here after we finish working with it. So now we're going to go on with the process. Remember, in this process, we are basically going to work backwards to fill each column down, starting from left to the right. So we're going to go column 1, we're going to fill it down, and column 2, column 3, column 4, using this expression that we already have, this dividend expression that we already have here, and using this divisor, we'll be able to fill up this table. All right. Now, in this process, remember that originally this 3x to this first term is coming from this box, from this top left box right here. So our first step in this process is pretty easy. It's just replacing this term back into the box where it came originally. So here is the 3x to the fifth placed back into its box. Now this is going to help us determine what will be our first term in the quotient. All right, we know that this term is coming from the product of this first term and the first term of the quotient. So 3x squared times something will give me 3x to the fifth. 3x squared times something will give me 3x to the fifth. So if I don't know what to do, I can actually divide those two things and find out what I'm supposed to place up there. So let's see. If we do 3x to the fifth, all right, we'll use the blue pen here, divided by 3x squared, that's 5 up here. Okay, this is 5 up here. This 3 will cancel this 3, and then we just need to subtract the exponent. 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2 will give me 3. So up here will be x to the third. Up here will be x to the third. Like here is x to the third. I have it written, which is going to be this, x to the third. Now, that is going to really be helpful because we know x to the third is going to multiply 0x to give me what's going to be in this box. So we're going to just use this x to the third to multiply each of these items over here to discover what will be in each box. So each box down here. So let's start. So 0x times x to the third will be fourth, which is right here. And then negative 1 times x to the third will be negative x to the third. All right? So we have successfully completed the first column. Now we're going to go to the second column. Now it gets really interesting right here because we know that we're going to add these two boxes together in this along this diagonal to get 12x to the fourth. So 0 plus something equals 12x to the fourth. So basically we know we just have to put 12x to the fourth here because that's the only way we're going to get 12x to the fourth. 0 plus something is 12x to the fourth. This something has to be 12x to the fourth. All right, so we know it has to be 12x to the fourth. Now we go back to the same process that we did right here. We need to use this expression here to determine what this second term of the quotient will be, because we know that 3x squared times something gives me 12x to the fourth. All right, so let's just do a basic division to find what that will be. So we can do 12x to the fourth divided by 3x squared. This will cancel this, I get 4. And then x to the 4 divided by x to the second will give me x to the second. So basically, we know up here should be 4x to the second. This is second, sorry, that's second. So we x squared right here, and the next one. So now, that will help us to find the next two boxes down here. 0 times 4x squared will give me 0x, right? And then the same thing goes down here. Negative 1 times 4x squared will give me negative 4x squared. Negative 1 times that will give me that. Now, it's really getting very interesting now because we're going to go up here, all right? Now, we're going to add these three elements down this diagonal. We're going to add these three elements down this diagonal. That will give us 11x to the third. So here we have negative x cubed, 0x cubed, plus something will give me 11. Right. The only way to get 11 will have to be, I have to put an expression here that will give me all this sum. So this, we have to put 12x to x cubed right here. Is the only way for me to get 11x cubed. Negative 1 plus 12 will give me 11. All right. Now we can use this to discover what will be up here. All right, so to do that, you can divide again. You can just divide 12x to the third, x cubed, divided by 3x squared. When you divide, you get 4, and then x. When you divide this, so it will be 4x up here. So x up there. Now, this 4x will help us determine the next two elements in this table. So 0 times 4x will give what is going to be in this box, and then negative 1 times 4x will be what will be down here. These two expressions down here, 0x squared and negative 4x. Now we're going to go to the last column. We're going to use the same process. We know that negative 4x squared plus 0x squared plus some blank will give me 2x squared. So think about it a little bit. You're going to add something to negative 4x squared that will give me 2x squared down here. You might need to pause the video to really figure this out by yourself, that you need to actually add 6x squared here. Negative 4x squared plus 0 plus 6x squared will give me 6x squared. All right, so that is how you determine, by adding these three columns, these three elements down this diagonal, you will get that. And now we can use this in the same process as before to find what's going to be up there. And then I'll do that again. We know that it's going to be 6x squared divided by 3x squared. And this is going to get you 2, and this is going to cancel out. So 2 should be up there, 2 up here. So these 2 up here will help us determine the last 2 elements down here. So 2 times 0x is 0x, and then 2 times -1 is -2, which actually it turns out to be what you have down here as well. This last box is the same thing down here because only one element is along this diagonal. So basically we have used a reverse process to determine the quotient, the quotient that we're looking for. So your final answer will be written just like. So the result of dividing this division is this. This is how you write your final answer, like this. So I put a box around it, and that is your final answer. I hope this video helped you a little bit. Bye.